So getting on top of Google, there's the one basic way of doing it, and that is that you want to become more and more popular. And now we'll go into the details about that, but basically the reasoning behind that is that if Google sees that you are quite a popular website, I say you as in your website, because yeah, you are your website, I guess, in the sense of in Google's eyes. But the way is, yeah, you want to become popular, and then so if Google sees that all these other sites and all these people are talking about your site, therefore, oh wow, you must be some important website, so therefore we'll put you right at the top of the list. So yeah. So the first thing you want to do is set up the site properly. This involves a lot of keywords. You want to do a bit of research first before you go ahead and do this. The research doesn't take too long, it might only take half an hour to an hour. And it just involves finding what are the most popular words that people search for your industry and for your type of business. Find out what your customers might be searching, and I'll show you some ways in a second how you can do that.
So is that similar to tagging? Like what?
Yep, tags are basically the same as keywords. Yeah, just a different wording for it. But tags are generally more found on blogs and things like that, on Twitter.
That keyword in the description?
Yep, so the keywords are, you try to basically use keywords everywhere. The first one that you want to put in is in your title, the title of the actual website, both in the title at the top of the site and the domain name. If you can have a couple of keywords in the domain name, it also helps. The domain name is the actual address, so say it's www.steveauchettl.com. Yep. That's the address, and then it was the actual title at the top of the site. As you can see, say in this one here, Valley Plains Pottery, the address is up here, so you can see that at the top, and then title is up here. Now you can see on this one, this is a good example actually, we've got a couple of keywords about what the page is about. So we've got the keywords there, bottles and vases, so this is a page just selling bottles and vases for Valley Plains Pottery. And you see at the top, in the title, there's also bottles and vases. And then also in the actual URL, which is the domain name, at the end there, we also have it again. So that was two keywords that we found that were quite descriptive of what they were selling, things like that.
So I think the funny thing I'm having about this is that your website is more than one page. So there's obviously that bottles and vases thing kind of covers it for me, I guess, because that website you have bottles and vases, another page with whatever.
Yep.
And so it's kind of got those two.
Yeah. So the idea is you begin with your normal domain, so in this case valleyplainspottery.com, and then anything after that we try and have descriptive keywords into it as well. And so each page would have a different sort of ending on it, which creates the web address. Does that sort of make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The description is actually in the back end of your site. You can't actually see it when you go to your website. It's in the back coding, behind the scenes, I guess, in a way. If you sort of can't set up by yourself, ask your web developer. But description is basically a whole lot of the main keywords put in a sentence that makes sense, and that also, so it's got to do three things. It's got to make sense, it's got to include as many of the popular keywords as you can that you want to try and use, and then finally it's got to try and be like a selling line as well. The description is the sentence that Google reads when you first go to a site. I'll show you what I mean by that. So we go to this one here, business help box, and this shows underneath. This is what Google would display this site as. Now we've got our title here, business help box, blah blah blah, online email marketing package, and then the description is this black text underneath, which is what Google displays, and so that includes a whole lot of targeted sort of keywords. So I've got words like small business, customers, database, things like that, and then finally you can see the address underneath there.
How do you get to the search engine listing preview?
Yep, I'll show you that. So, I'll step forward then quickly. This preview that I've just showed you is from a free tool that you can find at myceotool.com/free CEO tool. Hopefully you should be able to read it on your handout. These are two sort of really handy tools to find keywords. This first one, AdWords.Google, etc., etc. You can also just go to Google and type in keyword search, and it will be the first one that comes up. But if you want to type in the long address, there it is there. That's the official one by Google. That's mainly more targeted towards using their ad service though, rather than their generic and free keyword search, which is why I tend to use these free SEO tools, which are search engine optimization tools. After description, density of keywords is also important. So you want to have your keywords throughout the site as many times as possible on different pages, especially your first page, and then on the different pages for the different products. You say before the bottles and vases, you want to have the words bottles and vases quite a few times, especially in headings on the pages and things like that, because Google can actually tell the difference between paragraph text and heading text. It's quite sophisticated. As I was saying before about the location searches being really more popular these days, it's just growing more and more, and so we want to make sure that we have all our locations, especially the ones that we want to service and the ones that we live in, to be located somewhere on the site. They can be in the back end, in the description and the keywords in the back end, but preferably they should also be on the site somewhere, whether they're just on the contact page or on the footer of every page or things like that. I'll show you what I mean by that. I'll just have a look at have a look here. This is just Neil, who's just walked in. His lovely site. As you can see, he's from Ballarat. So he's got Ballarat on every page already. He also has on Contact Us a whole range of different places that he services. And so I probably shouldn't highlight that. And so you can see all the services there, all the names of the places are there, and so if we type into Google inkjet to any of those places, it basically shows up at the top. I'll show you what I mean by up the top. As you can see here, this is the new look of Google. You can see at the top left, all the places are at the very top. So this is just type in a simple search, say restaurant Melbourne. If we go to the next slide, this is an interesting little graph. What this means is that the top left, where it's the reddest, is where people's eyes are looking the most. So that was just a quick video to show how search engines work and how you can utilise them. Make sure you sign up to our newsletter so you can stay in touch with us, so you can get further tips to show exactly how you can create trust online into the future. Cheers.